Welcome, listeners, to another episode of the Chris Talk Show, where we bring you the news and dive into a wide range of topics that matter to you. I also give my views and my opinion. The show starts right now. Let's get into it.
Can you feel it? Can you feel it?
What's up, listeners? I hope you're having a good day because I am having a good one. So I hope you're having a good one. All right, folks. We got we got a wild story today for y'all. A little bit bugged out, kind of on some arsonist kind of crap, but let's check out this title. Okay, so our first story, uh, if I could pull it up, y'all have to bear with me, y'all. We having some technicals. All right, our first story is one person killed in a potential arson on a New York City block. All right, so we're going to check this out. This particular episode and story is going to bring us to the Bronx, I guess. Yeah, we're going to the Bronx. So we're going to take a trip to the Bronx, y'all, real quick. All right, we're going to let Sarah AI take over this story. Let's get into it, y'all. Here we go.
The NYPD say it is now investigating Tuesday's fire on Forble Street as potential arson. The FDNY says 7 people were sent to the hospital and multiple families were displaced due to the fire. As of Wednesday, 1 person had died. Neighbors told News 12 they heard the tenants screaming for help and watched as they jumped from windows to escape. Sahil Adin saw the fire burning through the stairwell while his neighbors shouted for help. From what I hear, it started from the stairs and then made its way up. But I don't know how it started from the stairs. It's kind of odd, says Adin. Something could start. Cigarettes or something. But I'm not really sure. News 12 confirmed that the building is owned by Rafiqul Islam. According to court records, Islam has had at least 3 landlord and tenant cases this year. There were 2 in Queens and 1 in Brooklyn. News 12 found a possible number for Islam. But no one picked up, so we went to an address listed for him on city records, though no one answered the door. There were several city violations issued for the upstairs apartment, including missing carbon dioxide detectors and a broken or defective baseboard radiator. Kamba, a nonprofit helping individuals with housing and other needs, reached out with a statement urging the Kings County District Attorney to prosecute should any wrongdoing be found. The NYPD says the investigation is ongoing. Police dogs and arson and explosion squads were on scene investigating on Wednesday.
All right, listeners. That was a story. That was a bugged out story. Okay, so check it. Before we get into all the good stuff, getting all the details, y'all know we gotta pay them bills real quick. So check this out. Y'all know what it is. All the links and stuff is right there up on your screen. This particular episode will be posted on YouTube. You can check that out at Chris Talks 1190. You can also check us out at Facebook at Chris Talks, where we post up inspirational, motivational, and what other content? Spiritual content. Sorry, y'all. Spiritual content to help you through your day. So, I have some guests here with me today to go over this story, to discuss this story with me. So, let's welcome our guest. My first guest is, y'all know her. I know her. Y'all know what it is. Let's say what's up to Naya Sips.
Hey, what's up? It's your girl, Negative Sips.
Y'all know what's up. And we also have another guest on our show. Let's give it up for the voice of Joyce.
Hello. What's up, y'all?
All right, and these are my 2 guests here today. They're going to be here to discuss this particular situation. Now, y'all know we give our views and our opinions. Now, my view, I'm going to bust it out for you real quick first. My view and my opinion is this. Okay? I think this is some like disgruntled tenant. Maybe. disgruntled tenant that probably set the building on fire. Okay, so the FNYPD says 7 people were sent to the hospital and multiple families were displaced due to this fire. So I think this is probably some crazy tenant or something that set fire to this building, or or bear with me, people. This could be just a mentally disturbed person. I mean, think about it. We talking about New York City. So you know, if you live in New York City, if you one of my listeners that live in New York City, y'all know how many mentally disturbed people are walking around New York City, and y'all know how many incidents has occurred with them in confrontations with them in the police. I mean, come on, they've been reporting this issue for like the last 10 years. All right, so we know what's going on. But in my personal opinion, I think that this may have been some like crazy person that just did this. Even in the report, when you go through the report, they say that they seen somebody on camera walking into the building. Now, whether this person was a resident or not, they don't know and they're not sure. But then again, at the same time, maybe this building should have had some damn locks on it to ensure that nobody can walk in and out of the building. Maybe that's what should have been possible. Maybe this landlord did not do what he was supposed to do. I mean, just let that, you know, sit in your mind for 1 second. I do want to give a shout out. Let's give a round of applause to Canva. Canva, if y'all don't know what Canva is a nonprofit organization. They come out, they help people in distress or in stress, which they should be helping all these goddamn migrants, but they ain't. We leaving that to Biden, but we ain't gonna get into that. All right, so check it out. That's my view and that's my opinion on it. I want to ask my guests what is their view and what is their opinion on this specific story. And I just want to hit some of the facts before I ask my guests this. The one thing I do want to point out is that this person caused caused a displacement of several families. They just say several families. They don't say exactly how many, but they do say that it displaced 7 people. 7 people went to the hospital. Several families was displaced. This is my question to my guests. What do you think um, really really happened in this situation as far as this building being set on fire? Because if I'm correct, one, they said that the landlord did have issues with some of the tenants, but the person that they caught on camera, they don't believe is a tenant. They have no idea who he is. So, my question is, what do you guys think? What is your opinion
Oh my!
on this situation? And also, I have one more last question before y'all go into it, because I know y'all two about to go into it for the next Lord knows how long. Y'all don't know them like I know them guests. Y'all don't. Y'all don't. I do. But they're about to get into and they're about to dive into. But before y'all dive into, I want this is my final question, and you can answer these questions in any order that you want to. Uh, do you think one? It's a two-part question. One, do you think Canberra did enough? Two, do you think that the Red Cross, because it does not mention anything about the Red Cross stepping into the situation. Now we know, we all live here in New York City. We know when situations happen like this, when the building damn near getting burned down. This wasn't just a couple of floors. This was damn near the whole building being burnt down. Do you think the Red Cross should have stepped in?
We don't have Red Cross no more.
I mean, go ahead.
That organization has been shut down since 2020.
Okay,
They
first of all,
only the Red Cross only comes out in
hold
natural
up, hold up.
destruction,
I'm
like
sorry.
Hurricane Sandy.
Excuse me, sweetie. I'm sorry. Hold up. Wait a minute. Let me put some Jesus in it. Okay, okay. Now, please let my audience know who the heck they is talking to.
Oh, I'm sorry, it's Joyce.
All right,
Joyce the
people.
Joyce.
It's the voice of Joyce. All right, voice of Joyce. You up?
Well, first of all, we don't have Red Cross for our own natural destructions here.
Natural
The-
disaster.
I call it destruction because this fire is a little bit too much. Imagine how many infants or children or teenagers that just happened with these scum landlords. We sit here talk about Canberra. Canberra only puts y'all in shelters, hotels. They can only do the best they can with their only little bit of organization they have.
So you saying the cameras are just like cameras a small organization. They can't do
Yes.
like
They
okay.
can
Yeah.
only refer you to path, or they can stick you into a hotel and give you a voucher for food, clothes. You could go to Salvation Army with these vouchers and show them, and they can only give you a certain amount.
But they say that Biden now he's like accepting. Like he told the
Biden's in
state.
Mexico right now. Biden's in Mexico right now. He really don't care what's going on. He's telling Mexico right now that they need to close the border because we have no more space in New York City, New York State, period. So he really don't
we
care
have
about
no
what's
more
going on.
we have no more space in this whole goddamn country.
Look at our rent. Do you think we even got time to worry about the immigrants? Do we have time?
Listen,
Our subway fare went up. The food prices went up. Do you think we got room for any more immigrants?
listen. I don't.
This fire just threw me back from 2019, where scum landlords up in the Bronx have done this the first time to the last people. Imagine if it was just the person going upstairs, visiting their moms from college, plugging in their phone, and the whole thing sparks.
And I did say that there is a. I do want to mention this that there is a history as far as you can go back of slumlords, like slum landlords, and a lot of times none of these things, nothing is done about none of these things. In this particular report, it did state that there were several reports made about this person, about the landlord, just about the landlord himself. So that's what it like with me. It kind of that's what I'm saying. They can't really tell who did it because this landlord he had issues with his tenants, but he had issues outside of that.
Exactly. Look how many fines he got.
It
If
doesn't
the if
it 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 doesn't get specific with numbers, but it does mention that he had multiple. So I mean, when you're saying multiple, you're not talking about
He had more than 3 different complaints from 3 different um apartments that
yeah
he
from three
owned.
different tenants.
Yeah.
From three, so that's why I said it doesn't state an exact number, but it states that he did have multiple complaints from tenants. Now, did any one of these three tenants could have killed this man? And there was something uh, that my other guest mentioned. Can you please mention who's speaking right now?
Oh, Native Sips.
You see these women? You see what they do? They don't. Okay. You know what? I just wanna. I don't know. They don't even. We don't even know who we. All right.
Yeah.
Thank you, Ned. Uh, but yeah, this could have been this could have been one of the tenants.
And my thing was also, if it wasn't a tenant, was it the landlord? Which one smokes? Does the tenant even smoke? Or does the landlord even
That is
smoke? Which one?
that's a good question. So could the landlord? That's a good question, and that's very good. I'm glad you brought that up because they didn't state in the building. They didn't state who was smoking. They just said somebody was smoking. So could it have been the landlord? Is it possible that the landlord set his own building on fire?
9 out of 10 times, yeah. If you go back into history,
Now, why would a landlord do that? Can you say that again?
Insurance money.
Nay, it says, say that one more time.
Insurance money.
Y'all need the house because
Write
you
it
don't
down and get his
understand.
money back.
This is one of those things. Okay, this is one of those things that, like, in when you look through the history, like through the buildings and stuff, there's a lot of landlords who set their buildings on fire. Um, Not even the whole building. They set their tenants, one of their tenants' apartments on fire just to get them out or to collect some type of insurance settlement on it.
but if one of the units didn't have carbon dioxide, because now you know the carbon dioxide and the fire detector is connected in one.
Yeah, they're
So
one.
so if one unit don't have one, how do you think the other units are going
But
to
it
respond?
but
What if it was the unit that had no carbon dioxide slash fire the fire detector in that unit and he set that one on fire or somebody else?
I understand what you're saying. I feel you. I feel you, and that's a question for the audience to answer. That's the question because that's one of those theories because it depends on which floor that the fire started on because smoke rises. So if say like this, say you have a carbon, say you have a the alarm,
Uh-huh.
okay, and you live on the second floor. I live on the third floor. I don't have an alarm, but somebody that lives on the fourth floor has the alarm. Now, the middle floor that doesn't have an alarm, none's going to happen. But if the fire starts below that floor that has the alarm, it's going to go off. It's going to go off. And then, like I said,
What about the hallways?
yes, but it still, smoke goes up. So it's going to flood. And that is another good question because we don't know if this landlord had fire alarms in the proper places. As far as I'm
Where's
concerned,
the fire escapes?
but as far as I'm concerned, this is a slumlord. If you see the picture, there's a picture right here. Okay, the fire escape is on the side, and as you can see in this picture,
That's not a fire escape.
Now, I also have another question too.
according to that building, it is.
When was their last inspection?
That too.
Okay, so according to this report, they had did a previous inspection before the fire started.
How much previous?
I think within probably within 2 weeks. So, to all my listeners, if you go back and listen to the report, it does tell you the exact time. I think it was about 2 weeks, a week before the
So
fire had started.
if that was the case, and the landlord got all them fines and all the complaints report, isn't it up to the city or the state to shut the building down?
And this is the problem with the city. So many times, okay, to all my listeners, y'all know how I go. So many. This is what I. This is the type of things that I point out and I discuss. So many. Like I said, so many situations and so many times, the state does not pay attention to none of this stuff. The city doesn't pay attention to none of this stuff. And when these people are being fined, they push it off to somewhere else, and they still don't get the job done. I mean, look at within the last 10 years, how many New York City housing projects have been investigated or fined for some type of infestation, some type of heat, something that had to do with water, heating, something that they wasn't keeping up with, something that had to do with the construction of the building that they wasn't keeping up with. And this is the New York City housing that is ran by the state. That's ran by the city and funded by the state. They don't keep up with that. And we talking about a regular building. This is not a city or state project. This is a regular goddamn building. And they are not keeping the people that go to investigate the building codes and all that stuff. If they're not keeping up with the building codes inside the New York City public housing, what makes you think that they're keeping up with the building codes in these buildings? Somebody, which is probably a landlord, this is just my theory. That's what I give here. My theory is maybe the landlord probably paid them off.
That could be one.
That could be one of the. That could be one of the theories because, there was more to this. There was another what was the other one? I forgot the other one. But there was another report that I had on this where this landlord just didn't get didn't have this reports by the tenant, but he did have some fines by the state for constructional damage, but they still passed him. You see what I'm saying? So
How? That's the whole point. How? These are people's lives y'all playing with.
Exactly, but
y'all
how?
playing with lives.
Yes, how? That's the question. How?
All I think about is children. How many family was in that home when that fire started? How many children that would have been lost?
And this is what I'm trying to say. Woo! This is what I'm trying to say. The New York State, New York City, and New York State, they don't. Sorry, y'all, lost my mic. But New York City and New York State, the buildings, they do not pay attention to anything like this. I mean, let's be real. Wasn't it a few years back? There was a building. Wait. A few years back, right? Correct me if I'm wrong, but that happened in New York. The front of a damn building fell off. Yeah. Correct? The front of a building. Now, that building was fined numerous times. Numerous times.
And they were told to evacuate.
Yes. And wait. And they passed an inspection. So how is this situation like? This is what I'm trying to say.
Different. But at the same time, we got these scum landlords paying off these what do we call these
inspectors.
The inspectors, yeah.
And not even paying off the inspectors, paying people off the street to come plaster the wall that they know they're going to look at, and units they're not going to look at.
I want to say something about that because that's a good theory. What happened if the landlord pays somebody to come start the fire?
Exactly. That's what
Do you hear me?
Say too.
Do you hear me? What happened? We don't know. We don't know. People,
if this is the case, you know.
We don't know. And according to the NYPD, they don't know who started the fire. Only thing they have is a picture and a side view of the person. And it's not from the camera that was within it. And that's what kind of bugged me out too. The building has a camera in it, but the camera don't work. Like, What the hell? Like what the? Why are we still doing it? Are we still putting up cameras that don't work
Yes.
to try to scare people?
Yes.
We living in a different society. Y'all know that, right?
It don't matter.
These days, ninjas ain't scared. They not. And some of the non-melanin people, they starting to get hyped too. You see, what's the January 6th? You see what they did there?
Imagine if it was just colorful.
I'm telling you, non-melanin and melanin. We got to be careful, people. We got to be careful.
Yep.
We got to be careful. All right, folks. That was a good one. Any of y'all got anything other thing to say?
Listen, all I gotta say is make sure you have your paperwork, your documents, pictures, audios, everything. I'm telling you, everything.
You damn right.
I don't care if it's the thing that don't matter the most. It matters the most. Hold on to it to dear life and take it to court. Head to head battle. Because this should never happen.
You're
Look
damn
how
right.
smushed the building is.
You're damn
On
right.
top of that, 3 buildings caught fire. Or for one person's
Yes,
neglect.
yeah.
Like, this should not happen. It should not happen. 3 buildings. Mind you, there is no space between these buildings now. I can literally hear my next door neighbor having their good old time in the bedroom. That's how smushed these buildings are. We need to get it together. This is how we get rats and rodents chewing through everybody's units. Just imagine it. Just imagine a rat started this damn fire chewing on the wrong thing.
It's possible.
Because the Bronx is full of rats. Trust me,
possible.
I know.
I mean, the rats, they crawl through the walls. They chew on the wrong wire. It's a fire.
Exactly.
You never
How
know.
many units have sockets just like the mopeds?
You never know. And I agree with you, Joyce.
And these people, they're bringing in their scooters and their bikes into the apartments now, and that's starting fires also.
Like, we getting cheap batteries, we getting off not non-brandable stuff. And you know why? Because our state and our city is allowing this.
Yeah, there's a lot of things. There's a lot of things that causes a lot of fires. According to the statistics, and I'm not a big fan of statistics, but according to statistics, in 2000 and I believe it was 2001, in New York City alone, they responded to over 1,400 fires.
1,900.
I don't have the exact number,
1,900
but I know it
and some change.
I know it exceeded 1,400 fires that they responded to just due to the electric bike, the batteries. Because I mean, you could, if your number is exact 19, that's even worse.
Exactly.
Because to me, 14 is a big 1,400. That's a big damn number. So for you to say 500 more, I mean, come on, kick in the door.
By the end of January 5th, the reports came out to 900, 19 exactly, 550 something and some change fires through the batteries
just the
alone.
motorcycles.
That's just too much.
It's crazy. It's crazy.
But mind you, it starts one fire starts the whole thing.
Yeah, and these were that's what I failed to mention to all my listeners. I'm sorry, I failed to mention that. These were row houses. If you don't know what row houses are, they are connected homes. They're homes that are built exactly right next to each other. So if one catch on fire, another will. And in this particular incident, as I'm further investigating the picture, there's 3 houses on fire. 3 of them. 3 of them.
It's 1,
2, 3,
and
yes.
4 right here.
No, it's just 1. No, not this. 1, 2, 3.
Yeah, but look at this one too.
Yeah, 1, 2, and 3. You see the bottom of this is blown out.
Yeah, I know.
This whole one is blown out, and then this whole one is
Look
blown.
at the top of that one too.
Well, 4 houses. Oh wow, you
Exactly.
pointed that out. That's great. 4 houses.
Mind you, the fourth house might have been not on fire, but they still, at fire department, still have to secure that building.
Yeah.
Too.
Yeah, they do. And usually they hose it down.
Mind you, these family homes are now what, 5, 6 units.
Just imagine how many kids, like Joyce said, how many kids is missing out from school,
Yes.
being in danger, and all this just from this one fire.
Yes, because it does state it displaced a few families.
Yeah.
It's when it says a few families, like I said earlier, it doesn't state the exact number
People missing
of
from work.
families. No, it only says that 7 people were sent to the hospital. And multiple families were displaced due to this fire. We don't know how many families. When they say multiple, we don't know. But we can assume that it's more than 3. We could assume that.
Exactly.
And we're talking about now that I look at the picture, we're talking about 4.5 buildings that's been burned up. I mean, you can imagine. You can imagine. All right, folks. Let me give y'all. That's my view. That's my opinion on this topic. I want to thank both my guests for stopping by. I want to thank Naya Sips for stopping by. Thank you for stopping by. I want to thank the voice of Joyce. I want to thank her for stopping by. And before we end the show, I do want to say this. Ladies and gentlemen, to all my listeners, anybody that can hear me out there, please be careful of the electronics and stuff that you plug into your house. Be careful of how long you charge these products, because a lot of these products, the batteries can explode on these products, and they can start a house fire, a serious fire. So be careful on the products that you buy. Also, that little paper that you don't want to read it. Take the 2 damn minutes and read it. You never know. It could save your life. All right, folks. I want to thank you for tuning in. Thank you for joining me. You could have been anywhere else in the world, but you are here with me, and I so appreciate it. I want to thank my guests for coming in and chatting with me on this specific topic. Also, stay blessed and not stressed. All right. Until next episode, I see you guys later. Peace out, y'all.